All right, welcome back to Surly Set of Six, of course, the home of all Warriors review off the back of the weekend's games. And geez, what a performance it was. 38 points to 14. One of our greatest wins. Not since April 25th, 2014 had we beat the Storm in Melbourne. We're on a 17-game losing streak in general to the Storm. We go over there, we get the job done, and in this type of fashion, it was just so pleasing. A dominant display from the lads on both sides of the ball. Geez, it was a satisfying watch, especially if you had Warriors 13 plus at $8.50 like I did, but that was one of the best Warriors performances I've seen in our club's history. So certainly some proud Warriors fans getting about today. The water cooler chat, it is all positive. The Instagram comments are back to normal, and the Warriors are back to their winning ways. You just love to see it. So, of course, Surly Set of Six today, run you through the six biggest talking points and takeaways from that game, in my opinion. Henry, mate, no doubt you were a bit gutted for that one with your tipping, but as a Warriors fan, and you're wearing the jumper today, you must have been extremely proud of that one as well.
Yeah, it's good to be back on. Extremely proud. I thought everything just sort of fell into place. We talked about during the week, last week, the week before even, of what went wrong. There was a lot of stuff, a lot of selection dilemmas, a lot of headaches for Webby and what he was going to do. But I just love the way the boys ripped in. Forward pack, defensively, I'm sure we'll touch on it very shortly. I was just impressed overall. Just, you could see how much it meant to the boys, like Roger getting off the line, like saying nah to Warbrick and just all of that. Like, just love the energy from the boys, and it was a great performance. Oh, I was just pleased. Forget the tipping. I was just so happy. Like, I couldn't stop smiling the whole game, just of the effort the boys, how they put in, and yeah, it was just a great win.
Unreal stuff. All right, let's get straight into it. Tackle one for me, and it's been my tackle one for the last few weeks, but this week it kept going. A great start. Third week in a row we've scored first. This time, though, we kicked on with it. We had the mindset to rock up in Melbourne and to leave with the 2 points. Seemed like the only option in our mind was to get the job done. The effort was huge. The energy amongst the team was massive. It took a full team effort, and we got the result. You could tell even from the pre-game that the lads were locked in. Pre-game interviews, Rog wanted none of the banter. They were there to do a job, and that is certainly what they did. I'm not going to lie, at 14 points to 12 to Melbourne there after about 24 odd minutes, I was feeling a touch nervous. Jack Howarth scored after we failed to lock up the ball when we had multiple opportunities there, offloads galore, and I thought, shit, that was a bit poor defensively. Maybe the Storm are going to kick on from here. But unlike the other 2 weeks, there was no drop-off from our lads. From there, we didn't concede another point throughout this game, which was just so pleasing to see. I think the mental aspect really matched our physical aspect this week. We snapped the streak in Melbourne, a huge bounce-back result that will silence a lot of critics and some fans that were coming hard for the team, and to do it with a performance like that wasn't just any other win for me. That was a special one for sure. Shout out to the Warriors fans as well, who rocked up to Melbourne and made it sound like a home game at times, Pre, during, post-game, you could just hear the fans loud and proud. We had a lot to cheer for, but a real positive for me was the fast start was there, but we kicked on from there. In previous weeks, we've seen us start 10 out of 10, and then we've dropped off once momentum shifts didn't go our way, but I feel like this week we delivered it for the full 80 minutes, which was really pleasing to see.
Yep, agreed. I think on the hot start, like in previous weeks when we have had the hot start and then they come back in it, we then weren't be able to bounce back and actually adjust to what was happening and on the fly and go back to our game plan, and we sort of went away from that in previous weeks. Love the way we just actually stayed calm in this one. Like, no one was stressing out I was, and I know you probably were at 14-12 down, but like, we just actually stuck to the game plan like we'd been talking about all week and even the last couple of weeks. So I think that was the most pleasing part. It showed a bit of resilience to be able to actually bounce back. The leadership was clearly there, where the boys were discussing what we needed to do. So I thought it was an impressive performance and a really good bounce back.
Yeah, different mindset and mentality in this one, 100%. My second tackle was the late changes that Webby made and just how much they paid off. Obviously, 1 hour before kickoff, we saw Ali come into the centres. We saw Roger shift in from the wing to centre. AKP get his debut to become Warrior 297, I think he was. Lecker back into the second row. Laban to the bench. And I thought all of those guys warranted those selections, those call-ups, and then Lecker to the second row, Laban to the bench, I thought worked really nice as well. For me, Ali scored the first try of the game. He keeps showing us this potential that he has. I still don't think we're using him enough on attack. Only 7 runs, 37 run meters, 4 tackle breaks though, 9 tackles, 3 missed. Not an easy part of the field to defend in though. I just want to see him stay in the team and continue to build out his game from here. We know he has that strike centre potential for us, and he does need to go looking a little bit more for work, but that will come with confidence as well. And I feel like he just played his role, his part of the team really well. And I had this weird sense of security out there. Like, he brings an energy to him 100%. And when he gets one-on-one with defenders, he can make people miss, which gives us some real strike on that edge. And I thought him and Dell's combination was really good. I loved Roger at centre, a huge performance. And I was worried that moving him there would take away his yardage work, but it didn't. He was so involved. I think he saw the comments from the fans the week before saying half of his body was in England, that he should go now, that perhaps he was past it. We at the time said that was crazy. He was our Simon Mannering medalist winner last year. Should have been in the Dally M Team of the Year on the wing. Him and Aaron Clark were our best players last season. So the fact that people were coming so hard for him off the back of signing a deal in Wakefield over in the UK, to me, made no sense. He finished the game with 152 run meters, a line break, 5 tackle breaks. I think he gave Olofiana Khan-Pereira a lot of confidence on his debut too. Like, that was the first game for that combination. Olofiana's Warriors debut in Melbourne against the Storm. It doesn't get much harder than that, but I thought those two looked like they'd played a lot of footy together. You could tell Roger rose to the occasion, but a leadership showing too. You mentioned that tackle that he played on Warbrick. Like, that was a statement to me. That was a guy saying, you're not going to score on our edge. You are not going to have it all your way today. I'm giving up nothing easy. I'm still here. I'm bloody committed to this team, and I play an important role. And it was also a guy saying, look, you might be wearing Warriors colours next year and probably my jersey number, but you're getting nothing for free tonight, even if we're up 38 points to 14. So I loved the performance from Rog. I thought he was bloody good. I thought Khan-Pereira, that wasn't his usual flashy performance. We saw glimpses of his speed and explosiveness, but the thing that pleased me the most was he did the tough stuff. He fitted into our system really well. He's this highlight reel type of player who, in the past, the basics have been his problem, whether it's on defense or attack. A couple errors in his game. Defensively, sometimes he'll come up with bad misses, but 114 run meters on 12 carries, had some tough runs out of his own end, 4 tackle breaks, and his defense was good. I thought he fitted into our system, not tried to change the system to suit him, which was really pleasing. And just going ahead, like, it's going to be hard to change the team this weekend, 100%. Kurt Capewell's a chance to come back in. Chans will be available again, I believe, but for me it's a straight shootout between him and Tane now, and I'm not sure Tane did enough to be dropped, that's for sure. I thought he was really good. Had a couple errors there, a couple moments he might want back. That draw and pass to Dallin for a try was probably one of them. In the end, it didn't matter, but I thought he created a lot of opportunities as well, so I think he keeps in the 1 jersey, and to me, Chans off the bench probably could be a good play because he can cover a whole load of positions in the back line for sure. Yeah, I think these guys deserve to run it back, and I thought the late changes from Webby were all rewarded. I think everyone stepped up. Even Laban going back to the bench, I love that push and shove between Chanel and King, which we'll talk about later. Laban's the first one in there. Like, he is a bit of a gentle giant off the field, but on the field he's got some dog about him, and he doesn't back down to anyone, and that brings with it a whole different mindset and energy shift as well. So, yeah, I love these late changes from Webby, and I think all the players rewarded him and deserve another crack this week. I think it was executed perfectly.
Yeah, big up to Webby, because we discussed a lot about the changes and about what the public really think and how Webby sort of adjusts as a coach and the decisions that he makes and how he makes those decisions. And I think a lot of credit has to go to him, because I know I was hot on not changing a winning team, and then the fact that he needed to change it when it wasn't going well. He did exactly that. The boys proved him right. Khan-Pereira, just quickly on him, I agree. Like, a couple of times where he got up, caught the ball, like, and those are the moments where you just get confidence in your winger, right? Like, you know the flashy stuff's going to come with him. You know that when he gets the ball on the outside, he's going to burn someone. But it was good to see the defense there. Roger, exceptional. Like, we talked about how he was the discussion about how he was like somewhat on the plane or whatever. But I just thought I liked the leadership from him, like the sort of follow me, back me in mentality, sort of going, boys, follow me in. And also the next man up mentality. Like Ali, like we've been talking about his defense and whether we're getting enough from him and his cup missed tackles. Every week we're going, oh, he only missed 3 tackles last week or 2 tackles last week. So it was good to see him just have a really good performance. And he can't change much this week, right? Like that, he just has to trust now. He doesn't like changing teams no matter what. So surely this week you'd have to keep it and run it back.
Yeah, I think he'll reward that performance. And Webby has been about that. Like, if you do the job the week before, then most times you will get a crack. I think Capes should be good to go, and I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him come straight back in. I think that is a smart play. But the rest of it, like, I think Chance will have to come off the bench, or I'd be surprised if he does start. But what a luxury to have. Like, that's the depth we have in our squad at the moment. But yeah, I don't think Tane deserves to be left out of this team. So yeah, I would be shocked if there were multiple changes this week, 100%. But it was also good to see, like, Loffy, Dell, our work in the backfield, our kick defusal was a whole lot better this week as well. So I thought we executed the basics really well and we got the job done. My third tackle was the bench impact. Man, I love our bench. It's been unreal all season, and I feel like you could go through every game through the first 6 rounds so far and at least pick one person that has come off our bench and changed the momentum of the game, or at least brought the energy and performed really well, even in our losses. Last week it was Tanner Stowers-Smith. He was really good again this week. Laban, I mentioned before, he was great off the bench too, didn't shy away from anything, played some big minutes there. I thought Sam Healy brought the energy as he always does. Again, only like 18, 19 minutes, but Wade was carving up, so fair enough. But for me, Demi, he was the one in this game. He was on another level. What a performance from him. 41 minutes, 137 run meters, 66 post-contact, a line break assist, a try assist, 4 tackle breaks, 3 offloads, 100% on defense, 11 from 11. The energy, the enthusiasm, the aggression that he brings, as well as his leadership. Like I've said before, he's a future captain of this team, and I truly believe that. He leads those younger lads and even is so well respected by the senior members of the team that when he makes a play, when he says something, when he comes on the paddock, people take notice, man. And he's only 35 games into his NRL career. He just turned 22 last month. To me, it seems like he has been an established part of our team and an established first grader for a long time. He has so much footy ahead of him. He could be in this Warriors team for at least another 10 years, which is pretty crazy to think the level of the player that he could get to. He has that genuine enforcer mentality through the middle, but then also has the ball playing and the skill set to be able to do the flasher stuff. He can hit with the best of them, strong ball runner, and I just love the energy that he brings to our side off the bench every week. To me, he's another guy that has to get minutes every single time. I thought this was arguably his best performance in a Warriors jersey.
Yeah, it was. I thought he was incredible. Like, he was genuinely the best player. And every time, the biggest thing I noticed was that he just was never stopped. Like, you get the sense that, you know how Fish sort of runs, takes the tackle, quick play the ball, but Demi was just like getting meters, like massive meters in the contact, getting the leg drive going. And it was funny because someone said in commentary, I wasn't sure whether it was Vossi or someone else. He was like, oh, they thought that they'd seen him for the rest of the game when he went off with like 20 to go. And then he just comes on 10 to go when we're already up big. And he's just like still going, running hard, working hard. I was really impressed. And it's crazy to think that maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I can't remember the exact week, that he didn't get any minutes or was fewer minutes or like really down on minutes. So yeah, I was really impressed. Thought it was his best game. And it was a game that we actually needed someone to stand up like that, I thought. So yeah, it was a big performance.
Yeah, I was gutted to see Tanner go off late with that hamstring, and I believe he won't be there this week. But when you get performances like Demi, and Tanner's been that guy over the last couple of weeks, he's been the energizer off the bench. But yeah, this was a real statement for him. You could tell he was up for this one, eh? Like the rest of the lads, we spoke on that mindset before. If there's a guy who's going to go and get after it off the bench, it's certainly Demi. I thought he was unreal. My fourth tackle, standout players, I wanted to mention them. There were so many of them. You could literally go through the team. I don't think anyone had a poor performance, really. But Demi, we've mentioned. Roger, we've mentioned. Chanel Harris-Tavita, I thought he was exceptional. Had a try assist, a line break assist, but it wasn't his work on attack that impressed me. His biggest impact was his work defensively. he just shots people, man. And I think we've said it a few times. I know SJ loves to talk on it too. The momentum and energy lift and the confidence that it gives the whole team when you see your number 6 just fold an opposition attacker is huge. The bloke doesn't miss, and more on some of those shots shortly, but I thought he was really good. His combination with Tanner Boyd was nice again. He hasn't lost the game this year. He's off contract at the end of this season. I think he needs to be locked up for 2027 now because opposition teams will be wanting to get his contract signed. If not, I think his presence on the field too, the energy that he brings in his own kind of calm, collected way, he's just such a good footballer, and the balance he brings to our side on both sides of the field is massive. I thought Wade was really good, so crafty on attack, 2 try assists. He won that positional battle with Harry Grant, which isn't easy to do. Jacko Ford, a try, 175 run meters off 23 carries, 36 tackles, just the 1 miss in 80 minutes. Banked the Dally M points. He's back at the top of the Dally M medal ladder, which is just crazy. 6 rounds. Like, we thought this was a novelty after the first couple rounds that was going to wear off, but this bloke just doesn't stop. He was so good all game long. I thought Fish was really good too. Man, our forward pack showed up, and we just bullied the Melbourne Storm, which laid the platform for the rest of our attack. But you could literally go through like Tane, Dell, all these guys played bloody well. Tanner Boyd, another really good knock for him in the 7 jersey without doing anything too crazy. Just controlled the game well. Yeah, this was such a satisfying performance, and it's quite rare that you can go through a team 1 to 17 and be like, shit, they stood up and performed. But I think that sums up our night on Saturday night at Amy Park.
Yeah, 100%. The 2 for me were definitely Demi and Chanel Harris-Tavita. Chanel Harris-Tavita, like, I'm a huge Metcalf fan. And you would have listened, like, I'm a huge Metcalf fan. Love the guy. Love what he's doing for our club. But the difference in what Chanel Harris-Tavita brings to the lineup compared to Luke Metcalf since he came back from his injury, and this is nothing on Metcalf, but what Chanel was doing and what he did against Melbourne just showed exactly why we were on 3-0 and really cohesive on attack, strong in defense for the first couple of weeks, because he just brought like just such a energy, and not only that, but just like calmness, quality, strong in the tackle. He's putting on shots on people left, right. Like I was really impressed with him, especially after watching what Metcalf had done the last couple of weeks. You know, talk to me about how you think that combination of Harris-Tavita went with Boyd compared to what we saw with Metcalf, because Metcalf was obviously coming back from an injury and it's sort of hard to get back into that groove. But what do you make sort of the difference between the 2 performances?
Yeah, I think obviously Chanel's greatest attribute is his defense, which isn't Lukey's greatest attribute either. Chanel, yeah, known for those big hits he can do that bring momentum, bring confidence to our side on attack. He still has some great touches, that's for sure. He's more of a conventional 6 than Lukey Metcalf is, 100%. And I think that's why when Luke came out and said he wanted to play 7 at the start of last year, like it did make a whole lot of sense. I think it's Tanner Boyd and Luke Metcalf playing for the 7 jersey, and Chanel's locked into the 6 until, like, barring injury or anything like that. I think he has shown with his form to start this year, and I thought he was really good last year, and I think I touched on it a fair bit on last year's pods. Like, he was up there for try assists, he was up there for win percentage. He had a really strong 2025 as well, so I think he's backing up on that and performing really well. Remember, it was only 2 years ago where he took a break and looked like he might not play in the game again. So, yeah, I think he's locked down the 6 jersey, and I think once Luke is back, it'll be him and Tanner kind of pushing each other to wear that 7 jersey, because, yeah, Chanel looks like one of the first players you have to chuck in the team at the moment, 100%. The confidence he brings, his edge defensively as well, is just massive.
Yeah, agreed. What did you make of Carl Pereira on the left and sort of that with Roger? Because I thought Roger was exceptional. We've touched on it. But what about the piece of string that we've talked about, the defensive area? There was less tries, sort of less massive gaping holes in the defence that we've sort of been discussing in the last couple of weeks. I just love what Roger brought to the centre position. We've talked a lot about whether that's his best position or whether it's not. But what about Chanel? Do you think Chanel just gave them confidence outside and less biting in? And what did you see from it?
Yeah, I think he did give them confidence. I think as well the whole team and the mindset that they had, like, was complete contrast to the week before. And whether that's someone like Chanel giving them confidence and all those changes, or whether it was just like we need to go out there and make a statement tonight, and that's exactly what they did. I think they were fueled by those 2 losses. Like, you could tell all week in the lead up to even just what Fish was saying in the press conferences. Like, they weren't panicking, but they were embarrassed and they were disappointed with their performances, especially against the Sharks, because they were so far off their game that I think a bounce back was always going to come. There's no doubting, though, Chanel shores up his edge 100%, and I thought Roger was really good defensively. And, of course, this is a guy who has been a strong defender his whole career, whether he's 1-on-1 at fullback, even when he went to rugby and played second five, he was a good defender. Like, he can hit. And if you're on a wing outside Chanel and Rog, you know that all you have to do is focus on your job and do your assignment. But I thought both edges defensively looked a whole lot better as well. I thought our second rows and our middles worked a whole lot harder. I think our spacing was a lot better. And we just looked like a team that was confident in our defensive line, which is so impressive off the back of a 1 training week turnaround. To be able to pull something like that out just shows how capable this team is when we're locked in and when we come with the right mindset and just roll through. And I think a lot of it is built off our attack as well. Like, I'll talk about our attack now. My fifth tackle was our attack, but when you complete at 88%, which we've talked about the whole time, we've said complete to compete. That's exactly what we need to do. Your attack comes off the back of your defense. If you are strong defensively, that energy crosses over into your attack. It also means you're not as fatigued because you're not defending back-to-back sets multiple times, which drains the life out of you. We completed high, and I thought our attack was really good. It wasn't crisp, but we made it work, right? Like, you could tell, again, another mindset things, refusing to give up on plays. The old Tanner Boyd bounce pass for our third try. Like, it's not exactly textbook stuff, but when you want something to go your way and you work hard enough, things will go your way. And we said on the preview pod last week, we needed to target that Cooper Clark, Moses Leo, Nick Meaney channel. Our first 3 tries came from there. Ali first down that side, then we had Barata go over close to the line, then we had Dallin off that bounce pass. You just love to see that. We won the kicking battle as well, 635 metres to 482. Tanner Boyd actually outkicked the Storm himself, which against the spine of Hughes, Munster and Grant isn't an easy thing to do, but I think it shows how dominant we were defensively too, making Melbourne kick out of tough positions. And we did look better with Tanner Boyd as the dominant 7 for sure. 56 touches, Chanel had 35, so the split, like, that's pretty standard. They were similar when Lukey Met was there as well. And I actually think we blew a few more opportunities. We mentioned the Tane one, not passing to Dallin when he was open. I thought Jacko Ford was a little lucky to get given that try. I thought they potentially promoted the ball there, but they called momentum, which, look, it's nice to see a bunker call go our way. I still think our attack can lift a whole lot more, and that's where guys like Ali and Olofiana with that strike potential will come into things. But I also like how individuals weren't trying to make things happen. We just stuck to our system. We grinded them down. We completed high, won the territory battle, and points came off the back of that. And I honestly just think our defense kicks our attack into 5th gear because, as we've seen over the last couple of weeks, when we have to defend for long periods of time, when we don't get to our kick on attack, that's when you think, shit, we've got the ball, we need to score here. And that's not how our game works anyway as the Warriors. So I think we ticked every box that we needed to on attack.
Yeah, we sort of reacted to what we didn't do well last week. Like, Webby talked so much about how we just tried to score from every play in our own 20 last week against the Sharks. We talked about, we talked about the errors and how the Sharks were scoring off our errors, and our completion rate wasn't that bad, but it just wasn't as high as probably it normally is. So I think we reflected on what we didn't do well against the Sharks and against the Tigers and sort of bounced back well, didn't try to do too much. And I think the leadership bit of it is important. Like, we stayed calm. And even if the attack wasn't working, we were getting to our spots, we were completing in the corner like we've done so well in the last couple of years, and actually just backing our defense because we were confident in that. So I like what you said about how we sort of go from our defense to our attack, because once one of them's really strong, we can sort of work off that and get the other one strong. So I thought we attacked really well. Kaperu will get his chance with the ball in hand, and I just thought we were good. How good was Tanner's pass to ground?
That was funny. Do you hear Chanel after the game? He was like, we always talk about how the bounce pass is undefeated. It's a rare exit. Yeah, exactly. Well, it does, like, you know, from all levels of sport, when a bounce pass comes out, you stop. You're like, what the heck is going to happen here? And it is such an awkward thing to try and defend. Obviously, you're not doing it on purpose, but you see so many points come off plays like that, right? But I like the shape we were going to run. We just didn't execute it. But it's good to see us, like when you earn the right to play footy down in those parts of the field, things go your way. If you're taking bounce passes coming out of your own 40, then you know you're in trouble. When you're in the opposition's 10-metre line and you're seeing them, it's as a result of some solid attack working up the field. So, yeah, really pleasing for me. And then the last tackle, our defence. We were just so physical. And to hold a team like the Melbourne Storm to 14 points, to not allow them to score from the 24th minute onwards, to mitigate the effect of the Storm's spine, which is one of, if not the most dangerous in the competition if given opportunities. I thought that was massive. The fact that Grant, Munster, Hughes all finished the game without a try assist, that is almost unheard of. We shut them down big time. And the most pleasing part for me was the defence in the last 20 minutes. Leka kicked it off with that massive shot on Hughes, and it was contagious from there. We're up 38 points to 14, so it's so easy to get complacent there, to get comfortable, sit back, and not attack a side defensively, because the game should be won. And often we've seen the game is not won from there, but it's when you sit back on your heels and let the opposition team attack you that is when the result becomes in doubt. But that is not what we did. We went after them, and really, we put the foot on the throat, which was so pleasing to see. Like, that Leka shot on Hughes was big. Then we had Chanel 5 minutes later on Josh King, which started a bit of a push and shove. Yes, the Storm got a penalty, but man, you could see the whole team run in off the back of that shot and the energy that it gave this team. I love how Laban was first in there as well, but senior six, just iron front rowers out like that is massive. Then we had RTS on Warbrick, and that was a massive statement. Nothing comes easy against the Warriors is basically what we were saying there. And then Demi, that shot on Cooper Clark. Like, they rub salt in the wounds, those tackles. They crush the other side's confidence. They give you a massive boost. You're just letting them know that they're not going to leave this game with their heads high. They're not taking anything from it. We manhandled them down the stretch. At times it looked like boys against men at the end of that game. So to rock up at Amy Park, execute the ambush like that, take the 2 points and bully them in the process, the confidence we can take from that game, massive. And the statement it makes to other teams in the competition too, saying that if you catch the Warriors on a day like that, when we're locked in, nothing is going to come easy for you. Even if we are up by 24 points, you're going to have to work for everything. That was such a pleasing performance defensively, and the turnaround and the shift was just insane.
Yeah, it was dominant. It was just so strong. I just found myself sitting on the couch going, shot. Like every set, it was just one or two of them, and you're going, yeah. And then there's always the Storm always going backwards or falling on their back. And we talked about the wrestle game and how we can slow the ruck down. I just thought, yeah, every little detail was good. And I haven't seen that strong of a performance. Like, we were just so up for it, and just no one. Like, you often have teams where they've have good performances and there's a couple of players that really stand out. But this was just everyone was on song, strong in the tackle, all with the same idea, all on the same page. So, yeah, I was super impressed. I can't remember a better defensive performance. I think that's the most pleasing part for me. But, yeah, it was amazing.
I just love seeing Bellamy sitting in that press conference post-game, just like lifeless though, right? Like, he knew that they had been basically bitched into that performance. He said they should have just gone to the pub and had some beers. So, yeah, huge stuff. Exciting times for Warriors fans. Now from here, of course, Titans this weekend. A nice little 3-game run. You don't want to get too carried away. I think we saw in the NRL on the weekend that any result is possible from any team, and that the Titans have some points in them too. So we need to show up and cement what we did last week. You best believe the boys won't be getting complacent though, because it was only a week ago now where we were sitting here on a Monday disappointed, and they don't have short memory, so they'll be looking to back it up. Then we've got the Dolphins down in Wellington, then Parramatta away, and then the bye. So a nice opportunity to build some momentum into that first bye. Should have we earned it. Back in the top 4, sitting in third, and with arguably one of our greatest ever performances by a Warriors side. Geez, this just makes your whole weekend a whole lot better. Saturday night was so good. The DMs light up, positivity, everyone is back on board, and I can't wait for this Saturday at Mount Smart. Sold out already. The place is going to be humming against the Gold Coast Titans side. That'll come here with some confidence of their own, but I know the lads will want to rock up and make it 2 big statement wins on the trot. So you love to see it. Shout out to Warriors fans. Enjoy this one. Flick your Storm fans in your life a nice little message. It have been 17 games. They've been weighing on us for ages now, ripping into us on social media. Well, now we get the last laugh. It's our turn to enjoy this one. So enjoy the week, and of course, catch you back here. Well, tune into the rest of the review pod after this, the normal Surly Talk Sport, and then we'll be back on Thursday to preview that mouth-watering matchup at Go Media Stadium. How bloody good.